In 4 days we went from, you know, 50, almost 50 degrees and mud, and now we ended up getting through this whole thing about 6 inches of snow. This morning it was 17 below, so it's just how it goes out on the no water, I guess. You can feel the ground shake when he goes by. 9th of February, and we made it up top, and there is very little snow up here. We pulled a horse trailer up top, 9th of February. So we came up because we're gonna get the upper camp ready to stay in to do our pipeline project. This coming week, we're gonna start plowing some pipe in the ground out here because it's been such an unusual winter. All right, gonna get unpacked.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got that on video. That's awesome.
That went down my shirt.
Was it really cold, or just kind of cold?
It's really cold.
I love it when you get cold.
Well, we ended up getting like 6 inches of snow last night.
When I was laying here looking at you like that, doing that, you made me get up. And that's what I wanted to do.
We're gonna go see. We kind of struck out getting the water going at the other camp yesterday. Things were froze up.
What's going on, Lundgren? What are we doing?
Well, I forgot my shovel and I forgot my digging bar. And apparently a badger covered up all of our valves. I hate badgers. We're gonna make a digging bar.
I thought you never forgot your shovel.
I usually don't.
That's what we're dealing with. Here we go. Good thing he has his light on still. It's been on this whole time. And I'm like, okay, maybe he sees better down there. Way deep in that manhole. What do you think happened? How the dirt got there?
That is the badger's hole. He dug here next to the tank. Actually got through inside the tank, dug his hole and threw all the dirt from his hole in on top of the valves.
Whoa, this is like 3D action.
Oh, I hit them valves. Boy, if we could get water to that other camp, it would sure be nice for this pipeline project. What do you think of the snow, Kim? How was the trail to the outhouse this morning?
Awesome.
You didn't hit any badger holes?
Nope.
Burritos are ready. Bull Springs, take 2. All right, I snuck out here early this morning before the guys got here. I just wanted to kind of give an intro to this project. It's been a long time coming. Bull Springs is located kind of midway of the place out there, and it's got probably flows somewhere around 20 to 25 gallons a minute. And we've been talking about capturing that, putting it into a pipeline and bringing it down into some of that lower country to serve a couple drainages and also to be a backup for the existing water system. It's been a project that we've been working on. It's we've had to work with the state of Wyoming. We've had to work with the Bureau of Land Management. We've got all the paperwork in order. We've worked through the NRCS on this project too, and had a lot of engineering work done, and we're finally to the day where we're actually going to put some pipe, make arrangements to put some pipe in the ground. So we'll put it that way. We've hired a guy that's plowed a lot of pipeline in, and he's going to come plow this in for us too. And this is his rig here. This is the 1st of February. It's a very unusual winter this winter, and most of this work here was planned for late spring, early summer. There's not very much snow out there. We have an opportunity in the mornings to get out on the frost. Here, the last few days have warmed up to almost 50 degrees here. So it's probably about 19 degrees right now. So we've got a little window of time to sneak out there for 2 or 3 hours before things kind of start to thaw out and get messy. We're going to plow this 7 miles of pipeline in, starting from the spring and then working its way down into the lower country. And then we'll come back in throughout the summer and start putting in the facilities. So there's 9 different locations, 9 different tanks that'll go along the pipeline. So for right now, we'll just plow the pipeline in, and then we'll come back in later, dig the line up, and put in each one of the 9 facilities. It's going to be a great project. It's going to provide some very good water for some of that lower country and that lower camp area out there. We've got to go 40 miles this morning out on a dirt road, basically. A very poorly maintained dirt road. Pretty excited to get this underway, but nervous at the same time. Well, it's been pretty good so far. We got George most of the way out here. This is a pretty steep part of the hill right here we call Lombardi. So I was gonna come see how he does getting up this thing. The snow's come off the road pretty good here lately, so he should have pretty good sailing up this hill, but this thing weighs a ton, so I think the cat itself, I think he told me he weighs like 138,000 pounds. So the truck and trailer probably weighs another 50,000 pounds, I'm guessing. So it's this isn't gonna do it justice, but this hill is a lot steeper than it looks. Oop. So we're back at the project. We got George's cat moved out here and had quite a time getting up one of the hills, and we decided to unload it here out here by the kind of the main road, and he's just gonna track it in. So, but in the meantime, we got some snow out here, and this is kind of the first day that it's been pretty froze up for us. It's been unseasonably warm, and this next 2 or 3 days is going to be pretty froze up. So we're going to try to put a little line in, and George is just getting his plow unloaded right now, and we're going to track our way in there. All right, it's day 2. We're got quite a little done yesterday for all the setup we had to do, and just getting him in here and getting everything kind of set up and our routine established, and everybody figured out what their job was. But it's going pretty good so far. We got about 1.5 miles pulled and pre-ripped yesterday afternoon, so we are on our way. We've got probably about 5.5 miles left, so I think the whole project is about 7 miles. And we're gonna get all of that pre-ripped, I think, today, and the pipe laid out. So there's been about 1 foot of frost is all, which is very rare for February. And we're pre-ripping almost to depth in a lot of spots. So, and pulling the pipe as we go. So here's the trench itself. Very little soil disturbance. We're pulling that pipe with us as we go, and then we'll come back in the next pass. The pipe will go up over the cat, down the chute, and that's, and down to depth. So kind of a foggy morning this morning, but it's about 16 degrees, and that's what we needed it to do, because yesterday it got pretty darn slimy on top. I don't think it's even supposed to get above freezing today, so hopefully we kind of stay pretty firm today. Last part of today we will be going up Bull Springs, and that's going to be that'll be quite a pull up that. It's some pretty treacherous country, got some rock to deal with, so it's going to be interesting to see how things go with that.
Got her?
We're overfilling the hydraulic oil and the motor oil, because we're going to get on some side hills and some vertical uphills that if we weren't overfilled, we would run out of oil. So.
Oh man.
Ain't liking it very good, is it? You got her. Let me
Here.
poke a hole in it, huh? Thank you. Go ahead, hold it up there and I'll just bend it a little, huh?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
You're too low. There you go.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to put them, we have to dump the oil into that 5-gallon bucket into these buckets.
Can't you just cut the bottom off?
Oh, we could do that and use it
Yeah.
for a funnel.
I got a knife.
Hey, look at this girl.
Yeah. Work with us.
Yeah.
Because we're just the brute force and ignorance. You're the brains.
I think you only could have said that if you would have slid down the hill, right?
Around here, we're either tripping over or stepping on a Kelpie dog. I don't know what they like about being right under your feet, but
See, we still have water going everywhere.
that is a pretty good stream of water. So that's the old line. It was only catching about half of the spring, and it's thin wall pipe. And it's only buried probably 2 feet at the deepest. So prone to freezing and all kinds of bad stuff.
How did they put that in? Backhoe or?
No, I don't know. You know, it could have been that they just laid it on top of the ground, George. And then over time it just kind of sloughed in. That's very possible. That was a pretty common way to do things out here.
Well,
You knew where your leaks were right away. So this is where the project's going to get pretty interesting. We've got to get clear up to the top of that stuff. We've got, from this point, it's probably about a mile. This last mile is going to be pretty tough. So we've got a lot of steep poles, rocks, side hills. So what do you think, George? Is this gonna be slippery then, now with this snow?
oh, I
Will you rip once kind of shallow up to get your traction then
know. Uh-huh.
on the uphill side?
Yeah.
I got you. And then that track will kind of lock in.
Yeah. Well, it really, this ground it pulls me to the ground. I mean, it'll pull a wheelie. I mean, you usually can't get that much traction.
Oh. Huh. So we got this little boggy spot next to the creek here that we're trying to get up above, and he's got to excavate a little bit of this dirt right there to get a flat base. And so he's gonna rip this up and then just try to kind of hog it out of there with his track.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go through there again.
Yeah, just barely got through there.
It barely comes through. So I think maybe we'll just go down and hook our pipe on.
Okay.
And I'll come help you trench it up the hill. Excavator.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, it ain't gonna go the way we're going.
Yeah, okay. Okay. With all this snow, the stuff beyond this, the last mile or so, I don't know, maybe it's only half a mile, but it looks like with all the snow, it's on a pretty good side hill, so we're either gonna have to try it again in the summer when it's dried out good with the cat, or we'll have to just dig it with the excavator for that section. So, which wouldn't be the end of the world. But man, with this, it's just a tough combination right now where the ground's not real frozen, especially in these creek bottoms and stuff, and so it's really boggy. And then we got all this snow now, and so anyway, we're gonna get the majority of the project ripped, and we're gonna get it pulled in, and should be in pretty good shape here. But George has got a lot of years of heavy equipment experience, and he knows exactly when to call it, and he's calling it here, and it's a good thing. The guy has a tendency to push on and try things that are a little bit risky, and gosh, just not worth getting equipment. I mean, you get something like that stuck down in a spot like this, and you're talking about a lot of money to get like size equipment in here to get it out. So it's just best we do what George thinks is right, and if he's saying we're pulling the pipe in from here, that's what we're doing. So this is a really wet, boggy, heavy soiled area. It's very wet. Last year we probably had one of the better summers moisture wise than we've had in a long time. So surprisingly, there's a lot of ground moisture yet down there, and especially in a spot like this, and this soil's super heavy. So but it's interesting. George is just a master at his craft, and you really need about 3 people running that outfit. He's got to steer the rig, and then there's a lot of different maneuvers he can make with the plow, and trying to keep that plow tracked on to this pre-rip mark that he made here. And so he's trying to steer the cat, and he's trying to manipulate the plow to stay within that pre-rip mark, because boy, you just deviate from that a little bit and then you're trying to plow in virgin ground. And it's interesting to watch him. He's been doing this for a long time, and he runs into areas like this, and once you start plowing this into the ground, you can't just pick it up out of the ground when you get into a bad spot. So he's in there manipulating that plow and changing the angle while maintaining that depth that we need to maintain there. So it's just years and years and years and miles of pipe that he's plowed. Very interesting. So we're going from DR9, which is like 250 to 300 pound pipe, to DR11, which is like 200 pound pipe. So you can see that's about the same OD. That's about 1/4 inch thick wall. And that's probably more like 3/8 thick wall. Getting some serious pressure down here. On the way, we've got 2 pressure reducers prior to this. But we need pressure down here because if we ever use it to back up the other 2 water systems we have here on the ranch, then we're going to have to have a lot of pressure to push it back up those 2 systems. So we had to put in D-9 down here so we could maintain about 250 to 275 pounds of pressure down here at the bottom. So it's been really interesting. I've never been around plowing pipe in like this to this degree. My dad and my grandpa and I have plowed some small pipe in just like 1.5 feet in the ground with a little plow we have behind a little cat, but nothing to this magnitude. So his shank on that plow will go 7 feet deep. We just need to get this pipe below frost. He's putting a lot of it in at 6 foot below frost to where it won't freeze. It's all going in deeper than 5 feet for sure. So that cat's a D9, and the whole thing weighs somewhere around 138,000 pounds, I think he told me. Golly, it's just an amazing piece of equipment. It's a 1979 cat, and it's got a Braun HS3 plow on the back of it. It's like a 2016 plow. This cat model is before they started making the high track model, and George said that this old cat seems to hook up better. They've tried them high track models and just didn't hook up and pull as good as this old 79 low track models. And of course they've done some tuning to the engine and whatnot, so I'm sure it's putting out a heck of a lot more horsepower than stock, but pretty impressive. So it's day 4, putting this 7 miles of pipeline in. We kind of got located and got a little bit pre-ripped on day 1, and then day 2 we pre-ripped most everything else. Day 3 we had a little bit left to finish up, but the creek bottom that we had to cross there at Bull Springs was too wet and boggy to get through, and with all this snow, the side hill that we were going to have to plow pipe on beyond that was going to be way too slick. So we opted not to go the full 7 miles. I think we had about a half a mile maybe tops left. So anyway, we'll just track hoe the rest of that in this summer sometime. So day 3 we got to that spot, turned around, started plowing pipe in back, and here this is day 4. We picked up, we had about 3.5 miles left to plow in today on day 4, and we're getting that in. But you can see we went, in 4 days, we went from, you know, 50 to almost 50 degrees and mud, and now we ended up getting through this whole thing about 6 inches of snow, and this morning it was 17 below. So it's just how it goes out on the no water, I guess.